I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I'm on it.
Hey, freak show! You're going nowhere!
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome and good evening or good morning or whatever time it is that you're listening to. This is West of Nowhere. I am Levi.
And I am Shane.
Yeah. And we're still harassing you with our shit. We're still on our bullshit. So fucking deal with it. Thank you to everybody who's continuing to put in iTunes reviews. We're getting more. It's cool. I like it. My buddy Adrian put in one, which seems like it's probably a conflict of interest having a friend do a review, but it still counts. So thank you for that. And then also our Patreon people. Who are they?
Who are
this
they?
week?
The same people as they were
Yeah.
last week.
Who are they?
Adam Pacino,
Oh.
Tony Burgess, Miles Glenn, Sam Norton, Colby Jordan, Jade Marsh, Natalie Tacarante, Mark Stadler, and Keanu Reeves, and then of course Colton Zammersla. So,
Hell yeah.
you
Nice.
just slur it at the end. You just say Zammer and then
Yeah, just Zammersla. Yeah. It's a really easy name to say if you're really drunk, because then you're just like, Zammersla. If you want to be like one of those cool people, go to the Linktree link in our, it'll be in the description of wherever you're listening to this. And if you don't want to do that, you can be like other people that are reviewing us on iTunes. And if you don't want to do that, just share us with your friends. And, just share them. And that's pretty much all the ways that you could support the show. Yeah. So what's up? What's new with you?
I'm
Anything cool?
currently on a 5-game win streak in my fantasy football league. So
Damn. Oh, you know what? So am I. Well, hold on. I need DK Metcalf to do bigger than 6 points tonight. So, or 6 points or higher, I guess I should say.
I was projected to finish last in that league, and I'm crushing people. So fuck you, ESPN Fantasy League, for not knowing anything apparently.
Yeah, you bitch. I'm in 2 leagues. One's on ESPN, one's on NFL.
Yeah.
And the one in the ESPN, I've only lost 1 game so far. And all the other games I've pretty much done a really good job of just curb stomping whoever I'm playing. This week was not the case. I was projected almost 20 points down from the beginning. And then slowly it just started to fucking shift. And that's my favorite. But I'm still behind by 5 points. I need DK Metcalf to fucking do something.
At the beginning of every week, I have been projected to lose, and I have won I'm 6-1 right now. So
Hell yeah.
So what do they know? Nothing.
Nothing. Fucking nothing. Speaking of the NFL, there's been some crazy stuff going on in the news for them the last couple of weeks, but one of the things that John Gruden was talking about when he said that the truth was going to come out after getting, basically targeted by this email thing. And one of the things that is rumored to be happening is that Jeffrey Bezos of the Amazon fortune is looking to buy the Washington football team.
What?
Yeah. So that would be pretty interesting. Having somebody who's not, 150 owning a football team might be good for him. And somebody who's so focused on marketable things, That's the whole guy's whole fucking thing. So I wonder how that would turn out.
Dude, I read an article that they're removing John Gruden from Madden 22.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Which,
Everybody's like, "Oh, really? You doing that? Okay, cancel culture strikes again." It was like, okay, but like, fucking O.J. Simpson's not in it either. So
my whole thing is like, why does it even matter? Because as far as the video game goes, like you'd see, like, if you played for that, if you played the Las Vegas Raiders, right? You'd see like random screenshot, like random little side shots of him just standing there. Like,
yeah,
it's not. It affects the.
not only that, but you could just become the owner of the Raiders and fire him if you really wanted to. Like, kind of takes some fun out of it. Now there's already some coaches in the NFL that aren't in that game. Like Bill Belichick's not even in it. So, like, I don't know, whatever. Fuck him. Fuck him.
I guess. I mean, that's weird. He hasn't done anything, right? Like,
No, he's just not
Yeah.
in it. Like by his choosing.
Oh.
Like he's like, I'm not going to be in this game,
okay.
which is weird, but I get it. Yeah, because I remember, I don't even remember when I paid attention to that, but it was one of the more recent Maddens, and I was playing the Patriots, and they cut over, and it's like some dude in glasses. I was like, that's not Bill. What the hell?
I guess you don't really think about it. I guess they do have to ask if they can use your likeness in the game.
Yeah, well, and then they have to like make you go to like the studio where they scan you in and shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't even think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that he would have to pull off his, like, his sleeveless hoodie, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Oh. Yeah, he's like, not about that. Not about that life. Keeping with the NFL, Patrick Mahomes severely unspectacular this year. I don't know what's going on with
He
him.
got hurt too.
Yeah, he got concussed this week, but before that happened, he was still unremarkable and looking like defense has kind of figured him out. Or him and Andy Reid need to get together and maybe do a little bit of play calling because whatever they're doing is not working. Yeah.
Apparently, Tampa's unlocked the secret by keeping everybody that they had the year before. That
There's something to that? That's
it's the
weird.
craziest thing to me. Like, a team will have a really good season and they trade away a lot of their all the people that worked so well together. It's like, no, reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. Like, well, we got all these new people, this new fresh crop that we can get. And then they're unremarkable year after year. Well, the fucking Baltimore Ravens did that shit. When they won the Super Bowl, they're like, all right, time to rebuild. Weirdly enough, they didn't do well for a long time.
They
after
also
that.
got upset last night as well.
Yeah, by the Bengals of all people. Who would have thought that would have happened ever? I got a friend who's a Bengals fan, and up until recently, it's been kind of a sore spot with him. He's like, man, it's whatever. And now they're actually doing pretty decent so far. They got Sir Joseph Burrow.
Yep.
And Jamar Chase, who was a fellow LSU Tiger, so they have that connection. And they've been tearing shit up as that combo, which is cool. Their coach, former Nebraska Cornhusker, Zach Taylor, what up? Did you watch any games this weekend?
I watched some of the Tampa Bay game last night.
Did you see what happened with the so Tom Brady's 600th career touchdown pass was to Mike Evans, and Mike Evans handed it to some rando in the crowd, like, just trying to be a nice guy, not realizing that it was Tom Brady's 600th career touchdown pass, which may or may not be his last milestone. I don't know how much longer he plans on playing, but it takes a long time to throw 100 touchdown passes. Maybe not with those wide receivers, but for normal people. So yeah, he just fucking handed it off, and so one of the equipment people had to like go over there and like negotiate to get the ball back, and that fan gave it back, and they fucked up
Dude, yeah.
because people are saying it could be worth anywhere from 500 to 750.
That's yeah, dude. I'd have been like, no, this is my ball.
Yeah, have Tommy call me after the game. How about that?
Yep, and negotiate. Hey, Tom, let me get a cool $250,000. We'll call it even.
Yeah. Tony Romo was commentating on
Yeah.
the game, and he made the joke he might have to send Giselle over to get that ball back. And people are bitching at him. I was like, that's fucking
Yeah.
hilarious. I mean, come on. It's not real. It's hyperbole. Like, why can't we just say ridiculous stuff sometimes?
Who knew that?
Like, it's
Go ahead.
I was just saying, it's just so ridiculous of a thought that nobody should take it seriously.
Dude, who knew that
Yeah.
Tony Romo would be a good commentator when he was like a subpar like quarterback?
Yeah, he's like a mediocre
Yeah.
quarterback. Nobody. And what's funny is like he's like reading defenses and stuff on air. I'm like, bitch, why aren't you doing this on the thing? Whatever.
He was only the captain
His-
in like name. He was a figurehead. They were like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
the captain, all right. And then no one listened to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we got it, Tony. Oh man. Unsurprisingly, Lions 0-6, baby.
Ooh, defeated.
Completely defeated.
Dude, I got an idea. Just hop over and become a Cardinals fan.
Okay. Yeah, they're doing good.
I think they're 7-0 now,
I could be a Bengals fan. That's not bandwagoning, right?
right?
Because they're not like amazing. They're doing well, but they're not like, yeah, completely undefeated.
Look,
or
all
anything.
you do is just say you're a Cardinals fan, and when people ask how long you've been a Cardinals fan, say since 2019. You know, or 2020. Say since
Oh.
2020. You know, whenever like no one could go, just say that when they were bad still last year. You know, and then no
Yeah.
one will question it.
Yeah, I mean, I could say since when Carson Palmer played
They-
for him back in the
Yeah.
you know, 2011 was it? That's the thing people always like to do. Oh, you're a fan of this really good team now? Well, who played for him 900 years ago? Bitch, shut up. Stop being like that.
Dude, I barely
How-
know who
oh.
plays for the Saints now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I
well,
like
fucking
I like
nobody.
watching the Saints play, but I barely know who plays for them. I know like their big names, but I can't tell you like who the fuck's on their O line.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I do have one friend who is an unabashed fucking bandwagoner. Like he, to the T of the word, like that's what he is. And he doesn't like, he'll go, no, I'm not a bandwagoner. And then I'll be like, weren't you a Patriots fan before? Like, when did you start being a Patriots fan? Well, it was after their first Super Bowl win. I was like, that's the definition of bandwagoner. Now, who does he root for?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
Maybe he's
like
just a Tom Brady fan.
But he won't say that.
Oh.
Is the funny
okay.
thing. Yeah. And like he tried to put me on a guilt trip this time. He's like, well, my dad, before he died, was a Tampa Bay fan.
Ooh.
I was like, okay.
Now you're an asshole.
We'll explain all the other sports that you've decided to switch teams on. All of a sudden, he's an Atlanta
Hey,
Braves
I'm an
fan.
Atlanta Braves fan, you know?
Yeah. Are you?
No.
Well, you dumb bitch. Or I'm trying to think of. He's also randomly a Texas Longhorns fan, and I was like, I've never once heard you talk about Texas before. He's like, yeah. Well, I started liking them after the 2005 national championship game with USC. I was like, oh, the one they won? Weird.
Are they number 1 this year?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
not
Oh,
even
okay.
close, but they got beat by like Arkansas or something, so they're not great. But it was just funny because like the precipice of that was the national championship game. Again, I'm like, motherfucker. All right, dude. Anyway, moving out of the NFL, and into
Oh,
Hollywood.
what's going on?
Alec Baldwin.
Dude,
Yeah. Yeah, right.
you sent me that
So
you sent me that video of him doing like the sniper walk, and I was like, I don't understand
yeah,
this.
and then you saw it and you were like, "Oh fuck."
Oh my god.
So that video that I sent you, it's a skit from SNL in like 2011 or
Yeah.
something, and it's so funny, like to me about like obviously it's a shitty situation, but my brain immediately went to that because that video, me and my brother, we will just quote randomly because take a shot, hold a fire. Take a shot, hold a fire. Wait, do you want me to take the shot or hold my fire? Take a shot, hold a fire. Anyway, and because we watched it when it was like that episode, like we watched it on like video on demand, like not like the next week or something like
Yeah.
that. And, and that was just like a inside joke thing for us for a long time. And then all of a sudden, Alec Baldwin, for those of you who don't know, had a mishap on a set of a Western movie that he's filming called Rust. So look for that in the theaters. Anyway, he was using a prop gun during rehearsal and accidentally shot some people. So the director of cinematography and the director were, I guess, hunched over a monitor. So like the director's like looking over
Yeah.
the director's cinematography, and like the director's cinematography is kind of like hunched over the fucking camera in a weird way. And he was supposed to aim the gun at the camera. And in traditional movie fashion, typically supposed to be like blanks, but like they're getting the head on gunshot,
Yeah.
you know, which is like a pretty normal shot. And there's a live round in it. So somebody fucked up somewhere.
Why are there live? Like, I just don't understand why there are actual live rounds on set. Like, that makes no sense.
I don't-
Why the gun was actually
Yeah.
loaded with a live round.
Yeah, I don't know, because I guess there's I'm speaking in speculation here, but in my head, for like exterior shots where they're like maybe shooting at something and they don't want to use like an effect where they're like, how do we put a bullet hole in this wall or something?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe they're using it for that, but like there's an armorer on set whose whole job it is to supply the proper gun for the proper
Yeah.
gun, and they're responsible for keeping everything separate and making sure everything's safe and handled well. I guess they had done like some rehearsal with a gun that was cold, in other words no
Yeah.
ammo at all, and that went through it, took a lunch, came back, and then started doing it again, and then that's when the accident
Yeah.
happened.
Wow, man.
So,
And
when the story first broke, there was a lot of like speculation on, oh, is it like a Brandon Lee kind
Yeah.
of thing again? Where Brandon Lee, from what I understood, is it wasn't a live gun; it was a prop gun, but the prop gun malfunctioned in a way that killed him because the because not what's the fucking term for a not live round, the blank,
yeah.
like the blank, I guess, exploded in a weird way to where he still died.
Wow.
Which is like, yeah, which freak accidents like that can happen. Like if you shoot somebody with a blank, they can get severely injured with them. Most of the time, if you shoot somebody with a blank, it's just gonna blind them temporarily. But like point blank range anyway, and that's not what happened on that time. And so that's what I thought had happened on this time, is like there was a weapons malfunction in that way. But I guess more information's been released that there was just a gun with like live rounds in it that was used. And it's a little weird because, well, it's not weird, but it's a Western
Yeah.
movie, right? So they're not like Glocks that they're using. But in that same reasoning, it should be easier to tell that there's not a fucking live round, or you know what I mean? Because you could see if what I'm imagining they're using is a revolver, so you could see the rounds in the revolver, unless the ones like actually in the chamber, then you can't. But all the other ones you should be able to see. So if there's only one round in it, then that round was the worst timed round ever. But it sucks. Obviously, it sucks for Alec Baldwin, but it really sucks for this lady her family, who, you know, don't have her in her life anymore. Her husband, I think they have a kid too.
Well, isn't Alec Baldwin like famously against guns?
Yeah. Which, I mean, you know, I don't think
What if
that,
it's a conspiracy, dude? What if he's so
Yeah.
against guns, he was like, if I accidentally shoot these people, it'll be even more fuel in my fire to be like, guns are bad.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a pretty hard stretch.
Listen here, all right?
But, you know, it's not any worse than some of the other conspiracy theories I've seen about it. Like, I guess this lady was married to a guy who's a lawyer at this office, and this office is a lawyer for something that was handled by the Clintons, and so fucking everybody's like, oh, here it is. The Clintons add Alec Baldwin killer.
Alec Baldwin is an
For what?
assassin? That's
I guess,
even better.
apparently. Yeah. What's really weird to me is the reaction of people who don't like Alec Baldwin, namely people who like guns and basically anybody that like Trump, because, you know, his impressions on SNL. That they were like, Alec Baldwin killed somebody. Isn't that hilarious? So funny. And then, like, literally 2 weeks ago, they're like, wow, these leftists are saying that if you don't get the vaccine, you should not be able to go to the hospital. They just want people to die. That's pretty cold-blooded of them. Like,
This
you
is the
fucking
same thing,
idiots.
yeah. This is just as cold blooded by laughing
Yeah.
at that someone. I guess I can't really talk because I just did that,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm terrible
Um,
too. But
Yeah. No, like, but they genuinely think it's good that he killed somebody. Like, they're like, oh, good. It couldn't have happened to a better person, honestly, because, like, he hates guns. He killed somebody with a gun. Ha 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 ha. And then, like, I saw a post that was, Alec Baldwin has more confirmed kills than the January 6th riot.
wow,
I was like, well, wasn't there, like, 4 people that died during that? So, no, but close. But shitty take
yeah,
to have.
definitely.
But I'm not surprised by the people who have been captured and enamored by a chant of "Let's go, Brandon," that they'd be happy that Alec Baldwin killed a random person.
Dude, you sent me that, and I had no clue.
You hadn't heard anybody say that
No.
yet?
I didn't hear. I actually
That-
didn't hear that until I got to work, and I heard that a bunch of people were like hanging out, and people were chanting that to be funny. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get that someone said it wrong, right? And so now people
Yeah.
are using that. But I feel like
Yeah.
it just makes you come off as stupid.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Let's go, Brandon. Good.
Like some 80-year-old
It's-
dude misspoke, and he shouldn't be in office because he's fucking 1,000 years old. At the same time, like I don't know.
Well, he's not the one that said it.
Oh,
It was at a NASCAR race, and the winner of the race was named Brandon. And there's chants in the NASCAR stands, unsurprisingly, that were saying "fuck Joe Biden," and they're like, you know, loud as
Yeah.
shit. And the guy's like, I can't fucking barely hear you, dude, because he's getting the interview, the post race
Yeah.
interview. And the guy interviewing him was like, oh, yeah, they're just saying, let's go, Brandon. Because he was trying to, you know, be the non-partisan party where he's just like, trying to plead the fifth on what's
Yeah.
happening instead of being like, they're saying fuck the president of the United States. What? No, they're saying, let's go Brandon because you won. Good job. Congrats. And in turn, people just like latched onto it. Like, I don't understand the poll, but also a good portion of these people really can't like come up with anything funny on their own either. So it is what it
Yeah.
is. What I think is tremendously funny is the group of people who constantly points to things Facebook's doing, things the government's doing as Orwellian in reference to 1984, having probably never actually read that book, are using chants, i.e., simplified words, as a point of emphasis on what they want to say,
Yeah.
and misconstruing language in order to achieve an effect that they are, in fact, doing something that's more Orwellian than anything that anybody else is doing right now. Because if you actually read 1984, they talk about all the propaganda and all the words that people use to try and confuse other people. They get them to obey and things like that. And that's fucking what they're doing. Like this, Let's Go Brandon is a propagandic chant.
Yeah, definitely.
In the same way that Make America Great Again is, like, in the same vein of Build Back Better for Joe Biden. Like, they're all propagandic types of things, but it's funny that a group that has specifically pointed to the other side as being the Orwellian ones are doing the exact same fucking thing. And really, they just didn't read in high school. And that just kind of goes to show that they're dumb. And that's why they like this chant, because they're dumb. There's a song that's on iTunes, I guess, it's Let's Go Brandon, and it's the fucking #1 trending right now. And I don't know. I like every time I see it, I'm like, that guy has no idea how to like entertain people outside of bumper stickers or shitty hats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the demographic for this thing. And it's really funny because it's like the people who are sitting there going, the fucking media, man. All they want to do is tear neighbor apart from neighbor, and they want everybody to fight against each other because they know that if we stand together, we're powerful. And then they're like, but fuck all those people over there. So dumb. Oh, man. I don't get it. But in the same vein, YG had a song called Fuck Donald Trump, and it was pretty much a banger, so gotta give him this one, I guess. Although he just said fuck Donald Trump, he didn't say let's go Brandon, so I don't know.
I feel like that. I mean, that's just as bad though. You can't condone the "Let's Go Brandon" thing if you're gonna condone the "fuck Donald," which I'm not for either one of them, but you kind of got to stand in the middle of it.
Yeah, because like I remember, so when Nipsey Hussle died, and we talked about it, like the first episode of Nowhere in the Middle, actually. The Laura Ingraham show on Fox News, she pointed to that song because Nipsey Hussle has a feature on it. It's like, oh, so we're supposed to mourn this artistic person when he released a song called Fuck Donald Trump? Really? And it's like, yeah, bitch, because that's not his entire piece of work, and you didn't listen to anything he said in the song, which in turn is proving his point. So, way to go. But I haven't listened to Let's Go Brandon yet. I was gonna, and then I got distracted. But I'm assuming that it's not really a point of, how do I want to say this? It's not like we have genuine gripes. It's like a more of a trendy, I want to hop on this train while it's hot kind of thing. But yeah.
I mean, that's similar to like I don't mean to like take away from the conversation, but that's similar to like what's going on with Dave Chappelle's like new stand-up. There's a bunch of people freaking out. Well, the LGBT community, I guess more specifically the trans community, is like calling Dave Chappelle transphobic. But if you listen to that stand up, at no point does he say anything remotely like hateful to them, to like that group of people at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like they didn't listen to the whole thing. It's weird.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Yeah, they just heard what they wanted to hear, and yeah, there's like walkouts at Netflix. Like, people are like, "Fuck it, we're going on strike," and Netflix is like, "Yeah, because nobody else wants to work here." Well, good one. Like, really? That's your fucking get out of here, dude. So stupid. Like, and I just don't. I don't know. I've tried like explaining it to people that I've had conversations with that are like, "Oh, this fucking Dave Chappelle, he's just he's a rotten person," and he's not. Like, literally, if you listen to the entire thing, he talks about a trans friend of his who he had open for him. Like, why would you do that if you fucking hated the soul being of that person? Like, you wouldn't. You wouldn't give them the time of day. You wouldn't help them out in any way, shape, or form. And they're just like, no, man, he fucking hates trans people. Like, okay, dude. Fucking Jesus, man. It's I don't know. It's really weird because it's like in some certain circumstances, they'll be like, oh, when you say this thing, you mean exactly that. But then, like, you can use other words and they can be changed in meaning. Like, I was thinking about this. Like, the LGBTQ community and some of, like, the other, like, different communities really latched onto the queen phrase, right? Everybody's a queen. Yes, queen. You know what I'm talking about? But what is a queen? It's a monarchical figurehead of a oppressive government, right? So why are we allowing that? Like, queens in nature have never been good. Like, they've enslaved people, they've killed a lot of people. Why are you using queen? But like, we can't say these other words because you said, because they're bad because of historical context or whatever the fuck. But queen's fine because you've changed the meaning. So we can change meaning on words now. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. So you're telling me that we could have been saying all these things that we've been saying this whole time because we changed their meaning for what they meant. That's weird.
I think every community of people, however you want to separate it out, is guilty of changing some kind of narrative to fit, like, just to fit how they want it to fit and, like, into their story.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody likes to... Well, and it's really hard, too, when they find something that's, like, super catchy, too. Like this whole fucking Let's Go Brandon thing, or, like, any kind of, like, you know, thing that's easy to repeat. But, big news. The Brian Laundrie guy, his remains were allegedly found.
Yeah, I seen that.
And you're like, hey, man, why'd you say allegedly? Well, I'll tell you why. Isn't it just a little suspicious that his family decided to join this search party and they're the ones that found his bag?
I didn't read that. I didn't know that they're the ones that found him.
They didn't find his body. They found his bag. And he had left without a trace. And his parents were like, kind of not telling people everything they knew. So there's no way to tell exactly what they did or did not know. But they had searched this park, which had already been searched before. Yeah. And then within an hour, his parents found some of his belongings of this park that they were searching. Which is a little suspect, right? A little bit. In a weird way. Like, I don't know. This whole story is fucking
I just don't see how his body could have decomposed to bones in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. right? Because doesn't it
No.
take? I don't know anything about how the body decomposes, but I feel like 5 weeks is a short time for them
Yeah.
to find a skull.
Yeah. And it's like also pretty sure he was in the water, like the body was in the water. I don't know. Like I feel like it's still not gonna decompose that quickly. But I don't know.
So, conspiracy theory: his family killed both of them.
Yeah.
Right. So they came back earlier and they said they did. Right. Then what his family says he came back. And which time, like, they killed her. I guess left her body where they found her, and then they killed him, and then said they dropped him off. But he'd actually been dead as long as she had been dead. Or so that's one. Or they changed the fucking dental records on the body, right? Because it's probably unrecognizable. Change the dental records.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's still alive.
Paid somebody.
Yeah.
It's in Florida. I mean, shitty things happen in Florida all the time. You're telling me they couldn't have fucking just slipped some money to the coroner or somebody to be like, hey, man, those teeth look awful like these ones.
Is this family rich?
I don't know.
Because I haven't read anything about his family being like well off. I actually haven't read a lot of articles of people saying this seems fishy.
Oh, well, I think it's
It does.
fishy
Yeah,
as
no, it
fuck.
does. It seems fishy.
So, like, everybody's like, oh, man, these things were all underwater until recently. But they went through there with cadaver dogs.
Yeah.
And even if there's water, cadaver dogs only need a body to be in a certain spot for, I think it's fucking brief. Like 3 minutes, I think, is the minimum. So anything above 3 minutes, the scent should be stuck to that shit. Even through water, they should be able to smell it, and they didn't.
Here we go. Different take. They broke down somewhere, right? And when they broke down somewhere, where they found her body at, that's where Brian killed her, right? The family came out there and seen that. They were like, "You killed her. What the fuck?" Then they
went from Florida, Wyoming.
Whatever. Then they killed. They helped him hide the body and then killed him because they helped him hide the body and they didn't want loose ends. And
that is one of the things people are saying is that maybe his dad killed him for killing her.
Ooh,
which is wild. I don't know. There's so many weird things going on in this fucking thing, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
Or what if she killed him, right? She killed him. She called his family to, like, I don't know, come help. And then she was like, she accidentally killed him. Like, he was being abusive, right? And then she accidentally killed him. Instead of calling the cops, she called his family. And then the father comes out, fucking murders her, hides her body out in Wyoming, and then brings the son home, you know, because people like to bring their kids home to be buried somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but he was spotted after she was.
I mean,
missing.
but look, we all look the same, all right?
Oh,
white people all look the same. I've heard that a billion times. We all look the same.
True.
Somebody,
that's all I got.
There was like a reward, and they were like, "If you've seen him, say something." So someone was like, "Oh, I definitely seen him here," but it was just some other random dude, though, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Or the government had him killed. Why? To take attention off of him. That's the one like people like to do. They're like, "Oh, this hurricane came out of nowhere. Awfully suspicious." George Bush.
The weather machine.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. I only got one story because I was going to talk about the Brian Laundrie thing. But
nice.
How are gas prices out there in Nebraska?
I just filled up for like $3.10.
Damn. Okay. So it's $3.20, maybe $3.25 here. Out on the
Yeah.
West Coast, it's like closer to, it's like almost 4.
Yeah.
Well, at least in Washington, it's almost 4. Well, in California, it's over 4. All right, and then in this small town of, I think it's Gorda. Let me pull the name up again. I had it. Yeah, Gorda, California, right? So the average in California is 453, which is higher than the national average is 337. But
Yeah.
in Gorda, California, it is 7.59 a gallon.
Jeebus.
Well, and I guess because this gas station in particular is super famous for, or well known for raising the price super high because it's like the only gas station in town. The next closest gas station to the west is like 40 miles away, and then to the south is like 15 miles.
I mean, that's not really that far.
Yeah, no,
away
I don't know
from
why.
anything. Not far enough to be like, hey, we're gonna charge $8 a gallon.
Well, I guess in July of 2019, they hiked the price up to $11.75 at one point.
Really? In 2019?
Yeah.
Huh? That's funny.
It's an Americo gas station.
They must it must cost them a fortune to get trucks out there. Or
I think
something.
they're just hiking prices because people don't want to, you know what I mean? Because there's
Yeah.
definitely cheaper gas like close to base, but I'm not gonna drive. I'm not gonna drive 30 miles to get gas if I'm already at home. I'm just gonna go right around the corner
Yeah.
where it is a little bit
Yeah.
more expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. I fucking hate that, like, all these oil companies, all these gas companies, like, they still make money hand over fist on what they charge people, and they fluctuate prices to where people are like, oh, okay, cool. It's like, you're going with the trend of the price per barrel for oil, and then, like, adding some for what it costs to refine it and, do whatever you gotta do.
Yeah.
But they still make a fuck ton of money on it. So here we are, still giving all these oil companies and gas companies billions of dollars of subsidies from the government. And they're like, we're just going to continue charging you the same prices because we can. Like, so I'm sure you've heard of it, but like the gas shortage in the 70s, you know what I'm talking about? So during that, the cost per barrel of gas it was cheaper back then with inflation counting than it is right now. Or like it is, I think in 2018 is when the article I read about it was. Like the gas cost per oil cost per barrel during the shortage of the 70s that everybody goes, oh my god, it was so bad, it's so expensive. It was still cheaper when inflation is taken into account than it was in 2018.
That's insane.
Like, yeah, and we have all it like so. Obviously, the purchasing power of money has changed, and inflation causes certain things to be more expensive. But it's not following the trend, and like these companies, they can change things, and they can, at the drop of a hat, like they don't work with the government, they don't work for the government, they take government money, and then they just charge whatever the fuck they feel like charging, really. And everybody's like pointing to this, oh, Biden canceled the Keystone pipeline. That's why gas prices are so expensive. Well, the Keystone pipeline wasn't even fucking functional, so now what's the excuse? Well, they're trying to get back at us because they put all that money into it.
Yep.
Well, they get tons of money from the government as like a handout, literally, anyway. So maybe they should just eat that shit. You know what I mean? Like, or wait until the next Republican president, because there's gonna be one, and they're gonna go, yeah, let's fucking do that thing again, and. Like, it, like, without getting too conspiratorial, but, like, they could definitely just go, hey man, we're gonna make this guy look like ass so that you guys pick a Republican president who's nice to us and gives us more money and lets us do whatever the fuck we want.
Think about it.
Think about it.
And while you're thinking about it, listen to the top 10 in the Billboard 200.
Hell
Alright.
yeah.
Number 1, Certified Lover Boy, Drake. New at number 2, Life of a Don by Don Tolliver. No clue who that is.
Nope.
Number 3, Sincerely Contrail by Youngboy Never Broke Again.
Yeah.
Number 4, Expensive Pain, Meek Mill. Number 5, Sour by Olivia Rodrigo. Can we stop listening to this album? Whoever listens, stop it.
No, I won't. Can't stop, won't stop.
Number 6, Montero by Lil Nas X. Number 7, Planet Her, Doja Cat. Number 8, Dangerous Double Album, Morgan Wallen. Let's go. Number 9, Donda by Kanye West. And then number 10, Fuck Love by the Kid Laroi.
Damn.
So not much change for a
No,
while
really.
now.
Yeah. Yeah, like, because what, last week you were like, this is the same fucking list, bro.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well,
Is that
that's all we got.
Ugh, sweet.
If you want to support us,
Do the thing.
yeah. If you want to support us, then head over to all the spots we talked about earlier in the beginning of the episode. Our link tree is linktree.ee/wokpod. The link is in the description of wherever you're listening.
Oh, quick
Go.
note. It's wok, WOKPOD, not walk. Because apparently that's what Kylie thought we were saying this whole time. And that's why it took her so long to put the fucking thing together. Anyway.
But yeah, leave us a review at Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review on, like and comment on our YouTube videos.
Yup.
We're everywhere for your listening pleasure.
We're all
Oh,
over. We're all over you.
we want to thank our friends, Dutch and Denver Podcast, Kicking It with the Kellys, The Remedy Room, the No New Friends Podcast. That's it.
Hell yeah. All right. I've had enough. Peace out, bitches.
Tip your bartender.